Hello everyone. So in this episode of our Unreal Engine Action RPG series, this is what we are going to work on. So here, last time we implemented a system when I hover over one of this item buttons, we get to pick details of this button like this. So when I hover over all of these buttons, you can see details of each weapon assigned to these buttons. So today what I'm going to do is, if I click on any of these buttons, even if I move the mouse away, this panel stays, and if I want to remove it, I have to press cancel. So, and the other thing is, you can see we have the equip available. So this weapon is already equipped by the character, so we don't have this equip button available for this weapon. But here, if I select another weapon, I can equip. So if I press, you see, now my character equips that weapon, and then here you can see this button is highlighted to show that it is selected, and here you can see this equip is no longer available for this weapon. So yeah, so this is what we are going to work on today. Now let me go back. See, you can see now the new weapon is applied to the character. So before we get started, let me remind you that here is the full playlist of this project. Everything is implemented and explained from scratch. I'll leave the link in description. You can follow these steps and implement everything you see here by yourself. So to the date, there are 180 something episodes, so everything is shared with you. And yeah, and also the project files are available for you to download here in my Patreon page. If you're interested, yeah, I'll leave the link also in the description below. So yeah, actually not just this project, once you become a member, you will be able to access all the thousands of projects I have done in my channel from the Patreon page. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave links to everything in description. And now let's get back to today's episode. Alright, so this is what we are going to do here. Let me go here and go to the inventory, click. So we have multiple weapons here. When I hover over one of the weapons, I can see details like this, but even if I click on any of the weapons, I immediately equip that. We need to avoid that. And also, if I have clicked on a weapon already, instead of equipping that weapon, I need to make this details panel keep in the view so that I can move there and press the equip button. Alright, so okay, so let's go to UI, open right hand weapons. This is the widget that we were using there, and here this is the item details panel. So what happens here is, if I go to the event graph, I have registered these events. This is to on click dispatch. That means I have a dispatch called on click in my item details button. Sorry, not item details, inventory button, which I can open like this. So here, inventory button, I have, see, on click dispatch and on hover dispatch. Here I am subscribing to those two dispatches. So this on click, right now what this does is it directly applying the weapon, and I don't want to do that. So let me break this for now, and I don't need to make any changes here. So if I go here, I had this no, if I go to my item details panel, which I can open from here, go to the event graph. Here I have this clicked show variable. I have this because this item details panel so also come in as a duplicate of the skill detail panel that we worked on earlier. So here what I have used this clicked show is, if I have clicked on the relevant button, then if I'm showing this details panel, when I exit from the button that I clicked in order to get this panel, when I move the mouse out of that button, I usually call a function to hide this details panel. But if I have clicked on it, then I do not hide it. So for that purpose, we can use this clicked show. Okay, to do that, here on click dispatch, similar to on hover dispatch, I'll return this inventory button widget reference through here as well instead of this integer. Widget inventory button. Should I call it item button? Okay. Because we need the reference to this in order to show the item details in the details panel. Okay, now where do I call this? Now this is not what we need to return, the reference to this button itself. Okay, now let's go back here and we can refresh this tool, create event. So here let's create a matching function. I'll call this clicked show item details. Okay, no more errors. Right, now similar to this peak item details, I need to show details of the item. So for that part, I can actually promote this section as a function. So yeah, let me reorganize this so I can easily convert this part into a function. This is the section that is responsible for showing the item details. To function show item details. Button. Okay. Now we can reuse this function in the clicked show. So before we show that, we can get the item detail panel and set clicked show to true. Then we can call show item details, pass the button like this. Okay. Now let's go back to the peak item details. So here I'm gonna this function will be called even if I have set the clicked show to true. So I should do anything here if clicked show on this item details panel is false. So currently clicked show is not active. We haven't clicked on any buttons. We're just hovering. Then only we should hide the detail panel and show the currently hovered buttons item detail. So clicked show. It is false. If it is true, we don't need to do anything. Now let's check. So here I am just hovering, so you can see the details are switching. But if I click on any of them, when I hover on others, you see now this stays, it doesn't go, and if I cancel, it goes away. So now I can again hover and get details of other ones. So yeah, now now the next thing is here. If I go, you can see this glimmer is already equipped. So ideally, I can't actually click on it and keep the details panel. That's because here we have this. If it is selected, if the selected is true, we don't call this dispatch. So I wanted this before because I wanted to avoid applying already selected weapons. So we don't really need this anymore because we are not clicking upon, we are not applying the weapons upon clicking on the button. So now I should be able to, yeah, see, I can keep the details of this panel as well. So, but the thing is here, this is red, that means this is already equipped. So we should not see this equip button. We only see the cancel button. So maybe we need a way to deactivate that button. So if I go to the item details panel, this is a fill button. So if I go to here, actually this is a button, and under that I have a fill border. Okay, so let's add a function. Toggle activate and pass a boolean. Activate. So then let's get the button set active now. That is enabled. Let's call this. Okay, now in the item details panel, I have initialize data function. Here I get a reference to the selected item button. Okay, so that means this part is used. So let me delete this. Item button is selected. Get selected, and then press equip button. Yeah, the button activate. Toggle activate. So if this is selected, we should disable this. If it is not selected, we should enable it. So pass the not of selected into this. Right, now let's see. Okay, see, now equip is disabled. So I can't click on it. And here equip is enabled, so I can click on it. But right now I don't think anything is happening. So something happened, but that's wrong because I had some code from the activate here. What this does is actually applying some skills which I don't need right now because this is a duplicate of the skill detail panel. So here I'll just call on activate button click. But right now I have this, I don't really need this skill data anymore here. Let me see. No references. Okay, let's delete that. But I have this item data. So from item data, I should be able to apply the weapon here. But my current implementation is to apply the weapon is in here, which I disconnected previously. This part. So for this, what I need is the index of the button. But the way I use this index is to figure out which collectible class that I need to activate to grant the weapon. So maybe let's do something like this. Here in the initialize data, I'll promote this item button as a variable. And then we can actually no need to keep the button itself. We can get this index. We can get the button index and promote to a variable. I'll call it item button index. Initialize. Okay. And then here into this dispatch, I'll add input parameter integer index and button index. Okay, now let's go back here. Here, do I have a bind into this? Weapon detail panel. I don't. So here, let me get a reference to item detail panel on activate. Bind event to on activate button click. Okay, so here it should work. Yeah, because this is also returning an integer as a parameter. Now let's see. Yeah, see, it equipped the other weapon. I should hide this after equipping. So right. Yep. Okay. Oh wait. Why is this resetting? Okay. We do have a reset button here. So that means I can call it when I hide. Okay. Equip. Okay, equipped. Now here, see? Now this button is available again. And not available for the equipped button. Okay, so it's working as intended. Alright, so that's all I want to do in this episode. But as I said, maybe I would need to refactor this apply weapon section to actually use this item data structure instead of applying the weapon this way. But that's something for another day. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link could be in the description below. And do let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in another episode. Goodbye.